Hello guys, and welcome to a new tutorial. Until now we learned a lot of things about how we create a dialog, how we set up some things on it by calling different functions. We learn how to set up properties, and of course we learned a new kind of property, which was a construct only property. In fact, using this kind of property was for the first time for us in our videos, and we saw that this kind of property we can set them only and only during its construction of the object itself. Okay, and later after that we learn about signals, and of course we saw that we have two kind of signals. The first one was the response one, which we saw how to catch those response ID which we are setting them. We also saw that the manual itself point us to a list of enumeration where you can choose types of a response which can also happen, not only those kind which you are setting them, and so on. Anyway, that being said, it is time now to move on, and this time we are going to move on to a new signal, and which is called close signal. It is a signal which needs a function, a user function, which takes two parameters, the dialog itself and gpointer user data, and its description says the close signal is a k-binding signal. K-bindings, know what means, those keys on your keyboard which you are pressing them, and which gets emit when the user use a k-binding to close the dialog. The default k-binding for this signal is the escape. Okay, so basically this means if you press escape, your dialog window close. If I'm right, it should work the way it is without setting this, without trying to catch this signal. We're going to see in a moment. I'm going to compile now and run our last program. So basically I open now the dialog and I'm going to hit the escape, and it closes and says something else, and this happens because we didn't manage it, these kind of things, so I just let it to default to it. Here you can create another kind of switch case if you want to, or you can just work here and try to catch those enumerations which you find them right here, as I already told you, so that you know exactly which case it is and happened. Okay, so that being said, we need to create this function, but for this we need to catch the close signal. So I'm going back to our run dialog callback, and we are going to call it right here gsignal connect, and this one I'm going to use swap because I'm not passing any argument. I need only the dialog itself. Close, and then a function we need, a g callback function, which I'm going to call it close callback, and of course the dialog itself again, because like I said, we need only the dialog and nothing's more. So that being said, we need to create this function. How did I call it? Close callback. Okay, so let me go up here, and I'm going to say it was a type of void, isn't it? Where are you? Right here, it is a void user function. Okay, so that being said, we are going to do the same thing, void callback and GTK dialog, GTK dialog, and of course we are going to check to be sure that it is, so which means if is not GTK is dialog. So if it's not our dialog, then return the information, I'll let you to put it yourself inside. And now we can say something very special. If you want to, I don't know, me, I'm going to say gprint and escape K was pressed. And why not? The dialog was closed. Let's see what happens and how the program flow works. I'm going to compile it and run it, and we have of course a problem because we need to declare what we define. We have no prototype for the function. Okay, we have another problem here, and of course I forgot a comma right here after dialog. Now let's see. I'm going to open the dialog. I'm going to test before we test our escape to see if other are working. Cancel says cancel was pressed. Yes says the yes button was pressed, closing the dialog. And no says the no button was pressed, closing the window, which looks fine. Now I'm going to run it again, and this time I'm not going to do something else. I'm just going to hit escape. And as you can see, the escape key was pressed and the dialog was closed, and also the other signal was catched. So something else happened which belongs to our response callback, its default one right here. So basically this is what this close signal which we were setting it here does. It takes care about the situation when you are hitting the escape key during your program, when your dialog appears on the screen after the user choose to print it. I think we talk everything about GtkDialog, and let me move this one down because we don't need it anymore. And of course this is the way how you create a dialog if you want to call it from scratches. I mean, here you can do a lot of crazy things. You can put what kind of things you want to, widgets, information, entries. Nobody stops you. I mean, if you, let me show you. If you feel that you need to put an entry, then just do it. I mean, entry, and no, not like this. Not like this. Let me go back to GTK dialog. Where's the widget? Let me go back a little bit to the GTK dialog, and here we have add an action widget, just for the sake of an example. And the first one is our GTK dialog. The second one should be the child, which is the entry, and the response ID will be 4. So now if we are creating fast GTK widget entry, and then entry GTK entry new. Now we declared the entry pointer, and then we set this pointer to point to entry new function, and then later we said GtkDialog add action widget. So we are putting the entry pointer on this dialog at the 4th position with a response ID 4. Now we're going to open the dialog. As you can see, we have our entry here. Works fine. So that depends on you, what kind of stuffs and things you want to do with your dialog and how exactly you want to create it. That's your decision, it is your call. Okay, so that being said, thank you guys for watching. If you like it, please subscribe, share with your friends and neighbors, and until next time, see you guys.